Hello buddy, welcome back to your latest update. Now in this video we'll be talking the latest Manchester United news. We've got some updates on Lisandro Martinez and him being out for an extended period of time, which we'll talk about. We've also got some news that we'll talk about. Obviously Champions League is coming on at the moment, so we'll be keeping an eye on that and keep you up to date if any goals go in. I mean, Tottenham are massively struggling at the moment. We'll be talking Carrick, Barcelona and Rashford. As well as some other interesting things as well, Sandro Tonali. But this is what has been reported on Lisandro Martinez. So, Lisandro Martinez is expected to miss Manchester United game against Aston Villa after taking longer than initially hoped to recover from a calf strain. Listen, what I would say immediately about Lisandro Martinez is I think he's a top level centre back. I think he's United's best centre back when fit. I think what he offers to the team defensively, his aggression, his quality is fantastic. But listen, it's another injury picked up from him. It's a long term. It's looking like. I mean, he was expected to only be out for 1 or 2 games, or 1 game, and then be back after the Palace game. But obviously, that's longer than expected. And I don't think we will actually find out when he will be back. I think it's a massive concern for a player like Martinez, who, as I said, on his day, he's one of the first names on the team sheet, in my opinion. Having the quality that he has is fantastic, and since him being back from injury, United have looked very, very good. I think he is a very good centre back, but as I said, he just can't stay fit, and hopefully he doesn't fall into one of those sort of category of players that just can't stay fit. I'm hoping he is able to stay at the club. As I said, since being at Manchester United, he has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 injuries since joining the club. Obviously, the longest one being that foot injury that kept him out for the cruciate ligament injury, that kept him out for almost 300 days. And listen, as I said, I do like Martinez, but it comes to a point where United generally do have to consider looking at selling him, because availability is the best ability, and Martinez isn't available enough. And I think looking at that and looking at potential options to bring in, I would consider selling Martinez. Listen, United's best 2 centre backs, in my opinion, and the best duo is De Ligt and Martinez. But when is going to be the next time we see them as a pair? I don't think it'll be this season. And again, that is where it does really lie. I think Carrick, and there are sort of concerns about selling him. I don't know if listen, he's a fan favourite. He's one of my favourite players. As I said, what he offers, his line breaking passes is up there with one of the best in the Premier League. When we have missed Martinez when he's not been in the team, he's the guy that you look forward to make that line breaking pass, the ball over the top. He's someone that players look for driving standards, defensive ability. He's fantastic at doing all of those things. But as I said, his last injury was, or he returned from injury in November, the game in which De Ligt subsequently got injured. And then he played a few games and he kind of settled back into the team. And then under Carrick, he started a lot of the games and he looked very, very good. And then he's been hit by another injury again. He missed that Everton game, then he came back, then he's missing now. So he is missing a few too many games, in my opinion. And you look at some of the injuries. He's had a calf injury that he has now. He's been missing for 21 days, missing 3 games for United. I mean, if we were injured, that would probably be about 7 or 8 games. He's had a cruciate ligament injury, which obviously he missed 35 games. Then he had the back problems, missing 1 game. Calf strain again, missing 6 games. A knee injury, a foot injury, a metatarsal fracture. So yeah, he's missed a lot of games for Manchester United, and I would definitely look at. I don't know if United will do it, because I don't think they do it this summer. I think they have other priorities. But when you're kind of trying to build a team, you need players who can stay fit. In terms of potential centre-backs to replace him, I mean, you have players like Schlotterbeck that would be linked to Bastoni. I think Gray would have been a great option. I don't know if it's too premature to put Aiden Heaven straight in next season. I think we're definitely going to need some sort of cover. I think if you have 2 players in De Ligt and Martinez who can't stay fit, and we're playing 50, 60 games next season, they're going to have to be players that we can rotate. I think Yoro's a good player, Maguire's a good player. But if you look at those 2 as United starting centre-backs, I do kind of worry at times. And I think we do need better quality in there. I don't mind having them around and to come in here and there. I think Yoro next 3 or 4 years will be huge for his development. I think he is a top level player, and has that sort of potential. He is still relatively young, but I think we need to bring in someone who's experienced. And as I said, if I look at some centre backs now that United could sign quickly out there, I mean, again, Schlotterbeck's been the one that's been mentioned. You have players like Diamande, not Jan Diamande, Diamande from Sporting. You have sort of what's his name, Antonio Silva from Benfica. So there are definitely centre backs out there that United can sign. I think Martinez was one of those unique profiles, and he was sort of linked with the club. But yeah, we will have to wait and see what happens with the centre back situation. Would you sell Martinez? Let me know in the comments below. I think it's going to be one that divides fan base. If you're talking about on the sort of fan thing, listen, I really do like him. His passion for the club, he gets what it's like to play for United. He's got the highest standards. He's physical. He's had some very good games for the team. And I think on that way he's brilliant. But if you look at sort of on a footballing ability, he's good at that. But is he available enough? I don't think so. And again, it's an uncomfortable conversation because I don't want to sell him. But it's like Mason Mount. I don't want to sell Mount, but the fact that he's not available enough, you would have to consider selling him at that point. And that's where kind of Martinez comes under the same category, in my opinion. You can let me know your thoughts, as I said in the comments. Who would you replace him with? Off the top of my head, I can't really think of many centre backs to bring in. I mean, Pacho, you're not going to get him, are you? But he would be someone that's good. Bastoni, Howson, you're not going to get. Upamecano, potentially. Van de Ven's been linked. Murillo for me, actually, he is the one. He is the centre back I'd bring in, thinking of it now, to replace Martinez. I think he's aggressive, he's physical, he's got Prem experience. Forest are likely to go down, so they are going to be able to replace him. Jared Branthwaite, potentially. Ian Nacho, as I said, someone from Sporting. But yeah, I think Murillo is definitely the one. I think the quality that he has, can't believe I didn't think of him, because he is someone that I have done a lot of research in, and I've watched him play many times for Nottingham Forest. I think he is a top level player. But you can let me know your thoughts in the comments on that. But yeah, Martinez, is it time to go? We will have to wait and see. I do certainly think it is, in my opinion. Now, I'll talk about Tonali, and then I'll talk about some other things as well. So Manchester United officials have confirmed Tonali is high on their list as a potential player to rebuild the midfield. His signing will cost around £90 million, and the players could be open to move depending on Manchester United's European qualification. Again, I think a lot of the high-end level players like a Tonali, a Guimaraes, Anderson, Wharton, they all really rely on United getting Champions League, and if we don't, I think Wharton will move to Liverpool, I think Anderson will go to City, I think Tonali will move to Italy, and I think United will really have a front runner only at Baleba, because he's someone who wants to join the club as it is. I think what I would say about Tonali is he's a top level player. He's going to cost you £90 million. Do United have the funds for that? Probably not, but I think he's definitely someone you look at as a very good investment and hopefully be at the club long term. Obviously, you have to look at is his heart's kind of set up going into the Premier League again. Apparently, if he is gonna leave Newcastle, he wants to go to back to Italy, but probably AC Milan. But as I said, I'm not going to talk about him too much because I've talked about him quite a few times. We know he's a quality midfielder. He's a top class sort of midfielder, workhorse. Played in the Champions League, knows the quality, knows the Premier League. Would he leave Newcastle? Probably not. Depending on where they finish, and if he is, he's likely to go back to Italy. Now, on the managerial... I'll talk about Rashford first, actually. So this is what's been reported about Rashford. If Barcelona don't agree to the terms and options to buy Rashford for €30 million settling the loan when Rashford's contract is up, then he will return to Old Trafford with a year of his contract left to run. There'll be no renegotiation, and United feel there's no shortage of suitors for a player who has proved his worth, won in La Liga this term. Pardon me. United also don't recognise rumours that Carrick or the club wants Rashford back, and financially the numbers do not add up when it comes to him playing for United. Again, he earns too much, and his United contract will run until 2028 is loaded towards a 28-year-old earning even more. Listen, I like Rashford. I think a lot of fans do. I think he's a very, very good player. And I'm currently watching Barca. He's not on the pitch right now, but I think with Rashford is the chapter at United's over, and ultimately that's come down from on Rashford's side. I think it was kind of done before he said that anyway, but he wanted to move and wanted to find a new challenge, and listen, we have to respect Rashford's wishes for that. I think he thinks and he had a falling out with Amorim, and he thought his time was over at United. I think there is a top level player in Rashford. Is he going to return to United? Probably not. And I don't think he wants to. He's doing well at Barca. I know he's getting loads in assists. It always pops up on my feed when he is getting goal contributions, which is good to see from a United fan level. He was someone that I watched when I started getting into United. His debut against Arsenal, his debut in the Europa League, firstly, where he scored the goals, and he's had some big moments in United. I remember in that run, when United won the Europa League, was fantastic. He's had good moments in the Champions League. Like, he's a fantastic player, and in terms of a player leaving, 30 mil is a ridiculous fee for someone who has over 300 appearances for United, won multiple trophies at the club, seen at time he was an England international, and has had regular caps for them. I think it is a bit crazy that he's going for that sort of price, but again, we have to kind of accept it, and I would probably, I'd probably consider selling him. And 30 mil, listen, they have to pay him. If not, again, like I said, Andy Mitten, who reported it, there will be lots of suitors interested in signing him because he is that level of player and he's very, very good. Is he the left winger that United need? No. We know United have been linked to left wingers, Diamande, Ndiaye, Barcola, whoever. I don't think Rashford is that. I think we need someone more younger with that quality. But listen, we never know. I don't think there's a return on the card for Rashford, and I do wish him all the best at Barca. Again, as I said, as a fan, being still only young myself, I think when Rashford came through, it was great to see him have a good moment in the United shirt and just flourish to a top level player that he is. And wherever he moves, which is looking Barcelona, I do wish him all the best, and I think he does have a lot of quality, and he's still got a lot to offer at the highest level, in my opinion. And yeah, I think him leaving is fantastic for him and for United, because we get him off the wage books. It gives us money to invest into the squad, all these sort of things which come from Rashford leaving. It lowers the wage bill, and yeah, I think it's best for all parties, really. Now, this was being talked about with Bournemouth's manager. Bournemouth will reopen talks with manager Andoni Iraola for the upcoming international break in an effort to ward off potential interest from Palace, Spurs and United. He is a target for Palace, and sources have indicated he has been discussed at both Spurs and Old Trafford, as well as potential vacancies in Italy and Spain. I think Andoni Iraola, I'm trying to think. He's a decent player. Decent manager. I do like him. Didn't really go to plan at Bournemouth. I think he did struggle. I think he's a decent level manager. I think he's got sort of a lot of experience. Bournemouth haven't done so well in the league this season, which again, does that come down to Iraola? Probably. I mean, he is the manager. I think, is he the sort of guy to take United back to the top? Probably not. I'd rather probably have Carrick over him. I don't know if a lot of people would agree with me on that. As I said, you can let me know what you thought on Iraola. I mean, I think he's a decent manager. Is he the sort of manager United go out and get, and as I said, restores us to Champions League and at the highest honours? Probably not. But I don't know, man. I don't know on the managerial situation, because I want Carrick to do well, and I hope he does, and I hope he gets Champions League, and if he does, I think he will be given that full-time job. I think many United fans would agree. If he does get Champions League, he should be given the job. I think it is kind of too premature to kind of decide on that yet, and kind of determine whether he should get that job or not. I think he is a decent manager and he's got a decent pedigree. I mean, there's positives and negatives of giving him the role. The fact that he will get a lot of criticism if he doesn't do well straight away, which is expected to come. The pressure at United is ridiculous. But have Barca just scored? No, they haven't. I think Carrick coming in for United has positives and negatives, as I was kind of alluded to before I zoned out watching the game. I think Carrick joining the club would be good for him on a personal. He's a yes man for the Glazers. That would massively help them out on that aspect. Obviously, the downside would be the fact that he is relatively inexperienced. He would be a yes man, which has fans you don't really want. You want someone who can challenge the board in order to make the right decisions rather than just going along with everything that they say. But yeah, I mean, you can let me know. So there's not been much United news, so I'll probably just keep it to a little half an hour one today because there's not really been anything else. I know a lot of you want to kind of watch the Champions League as well, but there's not been too much news. Yeah, there's not really been too much news. And that's really it. As I said, let me know your thoughts on that. I mean, what should I talk about for the end? Apparently, Pedro Porro's been linked with a move from Manchester United as a potential right back option. I mean, he's a decent right back. Is he better than Dallo? Probably not. I'd rather have Dallo over him. I'd definitely rather have Masraoui over him. I think Masraoui genuinely is so underrated. I think he's a very, very competent right back, and he's so good at defending and attacking. I wouldn't say he's great at attacking actually, but I'd say he's decent. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. I mean, Tottenham are getting battered 4-1, I think it is, which is absolutely outrageous. But yeah, there's not really been too much news. I just wanted to have a conversation really about Martinez. I mean, that is sort of a massive concern with the injuries that he keeps picking up. It's frustrating. It's outrageous, but there's nothing really to kind of discuss. Carrick, we've discussed the future. Whoever the manager is, we don't know, but hopefully it's someone who we can trust and is a decent level manager. I'm going to leave it there for today. There's not really too much to discuss. As I said, Champions League's on, so give that a watch. Obviously tomorrow's City, but we'll try to be live around 9 PM as well for that, covering that, and then we kind of have a conversation about the Champions League and what that means for United if we get into it next season. But that has been your update. Martinez injury blow. It's frustrating for him to be out for that long. I know it's been a shorter one today, but rather than just rambling on about the same stuff, I'll call it there. And yeah, go watch the Champions League. Let's see. Hopefully United win the next season. And yeah, I'll catch you soon. Peace.